How's it going, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. So the first Week 14 Packers versus Giants Monday Night Football game injury report just came out. We're a day late because the Packers play on Monday instead of Sunday, where normally we'd see this injury report on Wednesdays. We're getting the first injury report here on a Thursday. So in this video, we're going to break down all the injury updates for the Green Bay Packers, go over their injury report, as well as take a look at the Giants' initial injury report as well. This is definitely not a game to overlook, coming off a big victory versus the Chiefs. You want the Packers to go out there and remain consistent. You want Jordan Love to go play like he has been playing against a worse team in the New York Giants. There's some things I am worried about with this game, specifically Saquon Barkley and that running attack against the Packers run defense. I might also be going to this game. I'm 2 hours away from MetLife and the tickets are $35, $40 right now for some upper section ones. Let me know if anyone that's watching is going to the game. Let me know down in the comments below. But first, I wanted to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor, Factor. This busy fall season, you can count on Factor for fast, tasty meals that fit your lifestyle. Factor supports wholesome eating made simple. Their menus are updated weekly and include over 27 meals and over 33 add-on options. Choose your favorite meals or let Factor craft your order based on your taste preferences and meal history. Factor even offers keto, calorie smart, chef choices, and vegan plus, which include seafood, meat, and plant-based meals. Personally, I've been using Factor for a little bit over 2 months now, and it was a great investment. It cuts down on grocery store trips and cooking, so I've been using Factor a lot for all of my lunch meals, which just makes it very easy. Their fresh, never frozen meals are super easy to prepare and taste really good. And right now, Factor has a great promotion going on. Head to factor75.com or simply click the link down in the description and use code BASS50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. That's 50% off your entire first Factor box at factor75.com with code BASS50. Again, thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video. All right, so without further ado, let's bring up the Packers injury report, and just as usual, it's a long one. And just as usual, Jaire Alexander is at the top with his shoulder injury. He was again limited. It was actually a shock to me to not see Jaire play in the game against the Chiefs after being limited all week and being questionable for that game. Maybe Jaire comes back this week, but at this point, I don't want to assume anything because Jaire has been limited all last week, probably will be limited all this week, and at this point, we just don't know until it happens. Devondre Campbell, with his neck injury, was limited again today. This is an old injury from last week, and he played in the game against the Chiefs and played the entire game, so no worry there. Josiah DeGuara, with his hip injury, also an old injury. He's a full participant. A.J. Dillon has had a nagging groin injury. I believe he missed a day or two practice last week, still played in the game, and I thought had a terrific game. He's limited again today. Groin injuries linger. He'll probably be on the injury report for another week or so if it doesn't, flare back up. But he looked good against the Chiefs. The Packers need to keep establishing this power run with A.J. Dillon against the Giants as well. Rashawn Gary with his shoulder injury, he was limited. This is also an old injury. Elton Jenkins has a shoulder injury. It's not listed as knee. He was actually removed off the injury report with that knee. Now he's added on here with a shoulder injury. That must have been something he picked up against the Chiefs, but he was limited today, so he didn't miss any practice, so likely will be fine to play against the Giants. Aaron Jones returned to practice today, so big news for Aaron Jones. This was the first time returning in some fashion to practice since, straining his MCL a few weeks ago, so really good to see that today. Who knows if he'll be ready Monday? My best guess is he doesn't play in this game. He very well could if he practices all week and he feels good about it, but the Packers are very cautious for that sort of thing. So even if he's limited all week, I feel like they'll still hold him out one more game and then bring him back against the Buccaneers. Not to mention the Packers also signed veteran running back Kenyon Drake, who was at his first practice today, furthermore showing that they expect Aaron Jones to maybe be out one more week. Then we see Keyshawn Nixon here with his wrist injury. This was the same thing last week. He was a full participant today. A new addition to the injury report is safety John Owens with a knee injury, but he is also limited. So something to monitor over this week. He got the start over Rudy Ford against the Chiefs. Jaden Reed still on the injury report with his chest injury. He played through that against the Chiefs. And he is again limited today, so likely will be good throughout the rest of the week and be able to play against the Giants. Darnell Savage is added to the injury report. As quickly as he came back onto the team is as quickly as he jumped back onto the injury report, sad to say. After a really good game against the Chiefs, he also has a chest injury, but he didn't practice today. So now we have John Owens and Darnell Savage on the injury report, two starting safeties from that Chiefs game. Now, of course, they still have Anthony Johnson Jr. and Rudy Ford, which honestly, going into this game, I'd be comfortable with. I'd be comfortable having Anthony Johnson Jr. and Rudy Ford back there at safeties, but obviously you want to be at full force at any game. You don't want to overlook the Giants. I believe Tommy DeVito's passer rating is just below Jordan Love's for like the last 3 weeks or something like that, actually. Eric Stokes, full participant today with a hamstring. Really good to see full here. He still hasn't been activated. I think he'll be activated, and I think he'll get some snaps in this game. Now, he's not going to be thrown right into the mix and get 30, 40 snaps, but maybe he'll get 10 to 15 snaps in this game. They'll start rotating him in slowly. Then we see a new addition again, Quay Walker with a shoulder injury, did not participate. I feel like every time the Packers have a new injury at linebacker every week, and it's very rare to see Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker healthy at the same time, both on the injury report, but I think last week was probably the first game we got both of them for the full game in a long time, so hopefully this is nothing serious. Did not participate here, but hopefully he can get a limited practice tomorrow. Then we see the big one, Christian Watson. I'm sure we've all been sitting here this whole week going, let's get an update on Christian Watson. What is the update on Christian Watson? Because we haven't gotten one. And we know he's been dealing with a hamstring injury early this year. I think it's like his third or fourth hamstring injury since entering the league. I mean, he's just been obliterated by hamstring injuries and just injuries in general since entering the league. And he was just getting hot. Him and Jordan Love getting on the same page. And this is a huge blow for this Packers offense. You know, he's a big part of it. You know, a big reason why they beat the Lions. A big reason why they beat the Chiefs. Because him and Jordan Love on the same page opens up other things as well. Now, Matt LaFleur said he hopes Christian Watson makes his return sooner rather than later, but there's no real update there. But they did ask Watson himself after practice, and he said he does not believe this hamstring injury is as severe as the one that kept him out the first 3 games of the season, but he doesn't know if playing Monday night against the Giants is doable. So at this point, it seems like Christian Watson is most definitely out versus the Giants. It's just going to be whether or not he can return against the Buccaneers or even miss that game and then against the Panthers. It's going to be a big blow to not have Christian Watson this week, even against a Giants football team. You know, you don't want to ruin any continuity that the Packers had, and that involves Christian Watson. So other players are going to have to step up. Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath this week. Then finally, we see Devontae Wyatt with his elbow injury limited. I believe he had that all last week. No worry for him there. Then to quickly go over the Giants injury report, Carter Coughlin, their linebacker, full participant today. Dexter Lawrence, limited. Evan Neal, their tackle, ankle injury, did not participate today. Their offensive line is bad and banged up. A'Shawn Robinson, hamstring injury, limited. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons, ankle injury, limited. And quarterback Tyrod Taylor, full participant, ribs. But Tommy DeVito will be getting the start at quarterback, no matter the status of Tyrod Taylor this week. So that does it for the first injury report of Week 14, Packers versus Giants. There'll be another injury report tomorrow and then Saturday with all the designations as well. This is definitely a game that the Packers can't overlook, like I said earlier. After coming off huge wins against the Lions and Chiefs, you can't overlook this game. It's a quote-unquote trap game, as some people like to call it. The Packers got to go out there and handle business like they have been. Don't change anything. Keep that same aggression. Go down there and strike fast. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate you guys coming by. If you did like the video, please leave a like down below. It supports my channel a ton. But I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.